Hello, everybody, and welcome to Film and TV Talk Tuesdays with me, Gabriel. Just that nerd who just really likes TVs and stuff and movies, art. So we got a nice little show set up for you today. First and foremost, excuse me, I got to do a quick little check, make sure everything on the streams is good. Yeah, YouTube looks like it's streaming well. Let's check the Twitch. Yeah, yep, Twitch is the doing goods. And last but not least, the Facebooks. Over at Archetype. And la. Yep, we are good to go. All right. Whew. Got all that up. I think I should put this one more time on my Facebook. Copy that. Go back to Facebook. Live. Join in from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. EST. Well, bam. Just posted this one more time on the Facebooks. On my personal page. I completely forgot about that. And, yeah. All right. Here we go. Film and TV Talk Tuesday. I'm Gabriel. I already said all that stuff. And if you'd like, please go ahead and hit the join and subscribe and all that other stuff, because you peoples are beautiful. We got a great show today. Got a lot to talk about. Lot to go into on the film industry stuff. On we got latest news that interests me, because there's always a lot of news, and this is some of the stuff that interested me. We've got what else we got going on here? We've got indie talk, so we're going to talk about film gear and equipment, and what kind of equipment would you really want to go for? Do you need gear? The answer might surprise you. So we're going to talk about that coming up later in the show. Then we've got We got a little bit of discussion about me going into streaming challenges, because this is a challenge. It is a new territory I have never, I've tried before on, but never really just put as much effort into. And there is a lot of effort that I'm putting myself through to try to make this stream. So I want to know if you guys have started doing stream stuff. And I want to share some of the challenges that I'm going through, and possibly some fixes, or I don't know. Maybe you guys have advice, or it's just going to be a discussion about the stream stuff after the indie talk. And then we got, of course, what's new, what's some of the things that are coming up. There's been a lot of trailers being released in the past few days, in the last month or so, and the latest one being Buzz Lightyear. There's a new Buzz Lightyear trailer. Looks amazing. Yeah, so we're going to check out what's new, and then some of the stuff that I'm watching. But first up, before anything else, we go to the news. All right, all of our film news for today. And some of our articles are over at the Hollywood Reporter. I'm not looking at anything else but film and TV. That's it, okay? I don't care what your thoughts are about any news publications, but I usually look here, and I just sort of Google, and I just try to find stuff that I think is interesting. So the first one, speaking of Buzz Lightyear earlier, first one we're going to talk about is Buzz Lightyear. Holy crap. This show has my nerdy sci-fi-ness all in a tingle. Hello, son. My son is over here. Did you want to wave hi, or did you need to say something to me? Or you just need to see Buzz Lightyear? Okay. Anthony, my son. Thank you, son. Buzz Lightyear. He probably heard Buzz Lightyear. Was like, ooh, what's this about? There is a new trailer for Buzz Lightyear, and it's unveiling even more about what this like story's going into. And Zurg has a new look. Zurg has a new look. If you guys love your Pixar and you remember Zurg, kill Buzz Lightyear, he's got a new look, and it's kind of cool. Maybe I could scroll through the new look. Let's see if we can scroll through the new look real quick. I can't play all the trailer because I know what you call it. The YouTubes likes to go ahead and mark it as trying to use it for my own, like I'm trying to violate it or whatever. Violate its that's Zurg right there. But there's an even better version of him. Oh man, where is it? Where are you at? I can't spend all day looking for you. There, that's him. He's bigger, he's taller, he's got crazy eyes. He looks great. Way more intimidating than his Pixar's, Toy Story version. Way more intimidating, but it looks amazing. You guys should go check it out. Go check out the new trailer. Just go onto YouTube. Buzz Lightyear, new trailer. And I was it also kind of surprised me. I was wondering who the voice was, and it's Chris Evans. Chris Evans is playing Buzz Lightyear. That's pretty cool. So, moving on to the next one. This one's a little sad for me. I was reading this earlier. Douglas Trumbull, who is the visual effects, VFX, as this title labels him, maestro of 2001: A Space Odyssey, passed away at 79. So it's a bit sad. And I know I'm a fan of the VFX, and I love where it's going with the new LED walls and integrating Unreal Engine. I love where it's going with all that stuff. But back in the day, and this is things that I'm sort of learning for Miniature Heroes, there's so much practical effects. Everything is practical because there is no digital. And it's amazing what they were able to pull off with just putting something in front of a camera, and then how to manipulate physical film to create effects that can flow together. Because you have it's all like chemical processes and how light works. It's really fascinating stuff. But this guy had worked on, of course, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Blade Runner, The Tree of Life. There were some other ones that they were talking about. He even directed 2 films. Where was that part about him directing? Like he wasn't just he was an industry guy. This guy, he's the son of a man who did effects works on Wizard of Oz. That was kind of cool. Oh, he directed 2 films. Here it is: Silent Running and Brainstorm. I have not seen Brainstorm, but I have seen Silent Running, and that is a fun film. It's the whole battle royale kind of aspect way before battle royale was a thing. Yeah, that was just so cool. Let's see here. There's like I was kind of blown away with all the stuff this guy's done. Steven Spielberg, when he worked with Steven Spielberg on Encounters of the Close Encounters of the Third Kind. If you guys recall the gels or the cloud sequence that's coming towards the farmhouse, and I know this is part of the movie, so you have to have seen this movie, but there's this beautiful cloud sequence of these alien ships moving through the atmosphere and all of the clouds that billow up as it moves towards this house. And the clouds moving in a very purposeful way. That's something you're not going to capture in nature like that. So there had to have been a way to create the clouds. And he took salt and fresh water and then injected this paint, the color of the paint, through the water, and the water created the clouds. And as the water creates the clouds, they're shooting that in film. So that when they come to the post, they're able to take the stuff shot at the house and then the stuff shot with the watery, cloudy mixture and merge them together to create that whole scene. That is just cool stuff. I'm talking, if you're joining me just now, we're talking about Mr. Trumbull, a VFX, was Douglas Trumbull, a VFX artist from 2001: A Space Odyssey, many other films. How he just passed away, and just some of the stuff that they've done. This stuff fascinates me. I am so fascinated by these people who find ways to create this art, and that's what I want to do. I want to create this art, and I'm trying to. So it's a very interesting process. Even this, technically, the streaming thing, that there's an art to that. It's different. It's not what I think I personally feel is classical art, but even film isn't technically classical. It's only been around for like 100 years, 110 years. This, if you guys go and read this article, it is just so fascinating of what this guy has done. Yeah. All right. Moving on. Eddie Izzard is set to play Dr. Jekyll. That's right. There's going to be a new Dr. Jekyll, or there's a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde movie that is in production right now. Joe Stevenson is directing the film, which he developed with writer Dan Kelly Mulhern during the pandemic lockdown. The story follows reclusive Nina Jekyll finding friendship with her newly hired help Rob, who must work together to prevent Hyde from destroying her life. This is going to be interesting. I like Eddie Izzard. And I like him as an actor, especially. There's a lot of things that he's done acting wise. It's phenomenal. You can disagree with him on his politics or whatever, or his way of life, whatever. But as an actor, as somebody who's able to draw out a character and become a character, he's amazing. Yeah. I just thought that was interesting. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Did you guys know that, speaking of like twos, I'm trying to transition there. Did you guys know that there's going to be a Knives Out 2? I didn't know this. I liked Knives Out. Rian Johnson is forever not blacklisted. Rian Johnson was the director of Star Wars: The Last Jedi. To me, one of the worst insults to Jedi-ness in Star Wars possible. I always give him credit that he tried something different. Me and my buddy Nat have had this conversation many times. He tried something different. He really did. He went for the gold in trying something different. If he knew even half the stuff about Star Wars that the diehards would have known, then I think he would have done better. But it seems like he didn't know a lot about Star Wars. At least from my perspective of Star Wars. That's the hard part about art. He can. There's a lot of people who love that movie. If you love that movie, then that's awesome. Keep loving that movie. Do not let me shut you down on loving that movie. There's a lot of things I like that a lot of other people don't like. I really liked Rogue One. Star Wars Rogue One. There's a lot of people I know that hate Rogue One. Say it's very shallow. I loved it. That's just me, and I get joy out of it. So don't let somebody take your joy out of it. But Rian Johnson, it's not my I'm not the biggest fan of Rian Johnson just because of what he did in Star Wars. That's a little biased on me. But I do like Knives Out. And he's got a second one coming. And I am excited for it. There's a whole slew of new things for the pipeline of Netflix in 2020. And some of it looks really cool. I don't know if I can sit here and play this whole thing because I feel like Netflix is going to pick it up real quick. Because they did my last time. I was just playing trailers and they picked up the stream and said, monetization. You can't get any. Even though I don't get any right now anyways. But yeah. Whole slew of new things. I thought the Knives Out was pretty interesting. The Gray Man, I'm not sure what the Gray Man is. But all of those, all the little blips, it all seemed pretty fascinating to me. All right, moving on to the next bit of news. I think there was a next bit of news. Is there a next bit of news? I think I talked about all the things I wanted to talk about. Yeah. I'm not really big on the award ceremony stuff. I'm not really big with, like, oh, they're going to get Oscars. Now, if I get an Oscar, then I'm going to be big about it. But that's few and far between here. Okay, those are the what the kids say, hashtag goals. So yeah, there's a lot about awards right now because award season's coming up. It's just not something that truly interests me. But what I did find interesting was this little meme. I thought this was funny. For all you film peoples out there, this is going to be hilarious. For those of you who aren't in film, sort of a little joke behind it. It's an inside joke. But for me, this was funny, and I just wanted to share it anyways. So did you know that a Century stand, which is... Let me see if I can get it. Nope, that just got smaller. Nope, that got smaller. There's this stand right here in the corner. For those of you who can't see it, go Google a C-stand. Did you know that the Century stand, colloquially known as a C-stand, are named after their existence and usage across hundreds of years? Most notably, historical records indicate they were used to hold up portions of the Great Wall of China in the years it took to build. Now that's a film fact. This would be great on Nerdspiracy. This is right down my alley. It's it's fake. There's no way that could have existed because it's just modern engineering, but yet it's funny to me. Yeah, it's funny. Okay, I think it's time to move on to our indie talk. Because I went through all the news things that interested me, and I kind of like went right through it. But it's time to move on to talking about indie stuff. For all of those peoples out there that are just like, oh, I want to start making things. The indie scene varies just as much as the mainstream, like, unionized shows do. I would say the hard-end professionals. It varies as far as, like, what is considered an indie. There are many people, I would say, who just make little short films and movies for fun with families and friends and all that. They can be considered an indie. If they publish it and put it on YouTube, that can be considered an indie. The more professional side would say those aren't indies. Well, some people might, but most of them would say those aren't indies. Indies is only when you start to, like, put it into film festivals and stuff, or if you're trying to pitch it, that those are indies. Well, if my son does little animations and I love them, I am his audience. To me, in a very tiny way, he is an indie creator, an indie animator, and he has a lot of fun with it. If you're going to get started trying to make movies or little short films or stop motion, there is so much already at your fingertips in just your phone. So this equipment is only as good as the person who is using it. And you need to practice in order to get really good at something. If I were to have set this whole setup that I have in my room 10 years ago, I know it would look twice as bad. I just do. I know it would. It would look horrible. I would probably be way too overexposed or something. You got to practice. And that's what I try to do. I try to practice. I've got little studio stuff, but I've got my gear because I feel like it's what I want to use to get the image that I want. It gives me a lot more freedom. You can still do it off of your phone. There is a lot. If you need to start playing with lenses, there's lenses you can get to put on your phone. Just to start getting an idea. It's all about how do you translate the idea into the art that you want to create. Just like painting. I mean, it's a different process, but it's similar. You don't just pick up a brush and then boom, you've done a Michelangelo. No, you got to practice like crazy to get that kind of skill. So I really do feel like equipment is only necessary within your budget and what you've learned thus far, because you should go and watch videos and all that other stuff to figure out how to do what you want to do. Or you can do what a lot of other people have done and sort of how film has grown, and that's just try something. You want to get a light inside of this cup and then make it look like it's on fire. Okay, well, just try something. Find a tiny light, put it in there. Maybe put a little fan in there and some paper that's different color, and it waves. Like, you just make something up. Try to figure it out. It's like a puzzle, solving a puzzle. I think that's something I really love about it. It's, here's the end result. Now make it. You don't know. You know what tools you have, but you don't technically have a manual that can say this is how you do it. You have a lot of people who've tried before you, failed 25 different ways, and then figured out something similar that you learned from, and then you try to adapt it and use it. So it's always this theory that constantly moves. Just, again, I would almost say like almost any other art. Music, I feel, is like this too. You can start making music now. You don't technically need the best drum in order to make beats. Now, a good drum can help you make better beats. Like, a good camera can help me shoot better footage. But it doesn't necessarily need to be that camera. The iPhone 13 each iPhone integration keeps adding more and more cinema stuff. Cinematic tools, which is really cool. I personally don't find that I have as much control. And this is also my career. So, yeah, film is not necessarily, it's equipment. Not always the most important. But once you start to learn, and you want to adapt that you want to get better at it, there's things and equipment that can help you get better. And better, and better, and better. But keep practicing even when you're just using your phone. That's my biggest advice on it. And then if you do want to start looking for equipment, we can start going over to places like B&H. This is probably one of my favorite places. No sponsorship, no nothing. I am way too small for them to give me a sponsor yet. Though it would be nice. But we are... I go to B&H a lot. And it's mostly because this is the main thing that they deal with. And this is probably one of the biggest companies that you can buy through. You can buy through these guys or Adorama. Pretty good. If it's just about film equipment. You don't need... Also, if you're going to get into lighting or microphones or things like that, first off, go to YouTube. Go to Google. Do some research. Don't just buy the first thing you see on a shelf at Walmart. Because I can almost guarantee you There's better things for a better price that will help you get better. That'll help you improve as you grow. That's been the case for me, at least. And now I'm in a very fortunate position where I can pick up lights. You know what? I bet you they're out there. The last episode I did a little demo of me testing out a couple of lights. And they were not that expensive. Excuse me. My throat is a little dry. Time to take a water break. This moment brought to you by water. Water. It's free out your tap. Allegedly. Depends on where you're at, I guess. Water. It's good. All right. Where was I? Equipment. Oh, B&H. Love it. Love this place. Decent customer service. Usually free shipping. One of the things I really love is the deal zone. Every single time I come here, I check out the deal zone. I want to know what's there. This is me. I will come here and I will see what was for sale, because more than likely these things that were past deals usually will resurface again later on. Oh, I remember the other thing I was talking about, the lights. I bought my lights from here that I reviewed in the last episode, and they were pretty inexpensive, like this one. This Lume Cube little Go stand. Lume Cube's not a bad company. They're not like high-end professional, but they're really not a bad company. It's got, as far as the product they make. And look, this is $80. It's usually about 100. And you can get a single, you can get a dual. Like, it can go on top of your camera. They're nice little lights. Who was it just recently? There was somebody just recently put out a new microphone that's like under $100. There are a lot of inexpensive tools that you can use when you want to start upping your game, I think is the colloquialism. Are we gonna start upping your game? Oh, as the game thing pops up. Ha! Then start researching some equipment that you might be interested in. Start researching what each thing does in film. You know, whether it's editing, computers and programs, whether it is the type of camera, and then cameras or lenses, lights, microphones, stands, support systems like sliders. There's so many things that help increase the level of not just complexity, but what's the right word I'm looking for? There's so many tools that help your footage look more and more higher end. Just even as simple as depth of field makes it seem like you know more. Another thing that you can keep in mind is, if you don't want to spend money for gear, you don't have to. Like, you don't have to buy the gear. You can start collaborating with friends who have gear if you're just trying to make something. There's a great company called ShareGrid, and I think there's another company that's very similar to it, that's East Coast based. Now this is rentals, so if you start to put together a project, and maybe you're just going to save up a few $1,000s or something like that, a few $100s, and you want to get some gear for a day or for a weekend, you can rent it. It's not personally where I personally like to go if I don't have to. Usually it's because out of everybody that I do know that can help make the film happen, there's these few items we definitely need. And that's usually when I would go to ShareGrid or something similar. Lens Pro to Go, stuff like that, where you can just rent a lens, you could rent a light, you could rent a microphone for a weekend. Usually that's the day/weekend price. And you've got more professional gear in hand. If you're going to have more professional gear, definitely start saying you want to have more knowledge of how to use it. Because, I mean, if you want to pay to just play around and have fun, you know, that's up to you. I mean, it is up to you. Just even thinking about it. That's not a bad thing. If you're going to rent something to play with it, see if you like it, yeah, go for it. I don't know why that sounded like... It sounded bad in my head for a minute there, but that's me being a little prudish, I would say. No, you go have fun. Have fun. Like, it's art. It's art. It's one of the most collaborative art forms ever. Because it involves sound and music. And visuals. Sound and music. It does. Sound, music, visuals, practicals, building, carpentry. Like, there's so... painting. There's so many different art forms that get put into film, and I love it. The only other one I can say that it's that as complex is video games. Video games is just as complex of an art form. But yeah, you can go rent it. Start collaborating with some people. That's what me and my buddy Nat are doing. It's all about collaboration with me and him. He's bringing all for Miniature Heroes, he's bringing all of the 1/6 scale figures that we're using. And he's purchasing the set. And with the set, and with his figures, I'm bringing all of the film gear. I'm bringing the cameras. He just purchased another camera, so we do now have dual camera capability. But I'm bringing the camera, I'm bringing the lights, I'm bringing the filming know-how, like advanced knowledge. He knows a little bit about film and stuff like that because he's done it in the past. But I'm bringing more of the professionalism with it. So this collaboration works really, really well. You might really be interested in camera work, and your friend might be really interested in storytelling. You know, you pick up the camera and he writes a script, and then you guys come together. Maybe he helps, maybe he finds the talent. Or she, or whoever it is. Just, it's so collaborative. And it's still sort of the same way when it comes to the big film peoples. Anyways, I love this stuff. I really do. All of this gear. It's just so much fun. Learning new techniques to me is also fascinating. So before we get into the what's coming up and what's new, I really wanted to talk about some of the challenges I've been having with this stream. I think I've been having challenges since day one. So I'm gonna let's just highlight, yeah. So I've been having challenges since day one. Because I originally wanted to start in January. And, well, the beginning of January. And that just didn't work. That sip break brought to you by coffee. Coffee. It's coffee. If you don't know what coffee is, well, go educate yourself. Yeah, day one for starting up the new streams for Sunday. It's all for 3 different streams. Sunday, Nerdspiracy Sunday, Gundam Monday, and Film and TV Talk Tuesday. So for those 3 shows. I was planning a 4th on Fridays, but I ultimately decided not to, and just to stick with the 3 for right now. It has been the most interesting undertaking in relation to something that is similar to what I know in film and TV, but so far apart from what I'm usually comfortable with. My acting and my characters and everything like that, who I am, the things that I am interested in, only usually comes out in front of those who know me. So I'm trying to build something where I want the quality of what I love in a medium that feels weird for me to put myself into. Let's talk about the quality. I am probably pixelated right now on your screen. Yeah, like I'm looking at it on YouTube. It is pixelated out of heck. And on Twitch, also pixelated. Really bad. And I'm sure if I, even if I minimize myself, for me, it's not. This is one of those issues. It's like, how do I get a better quality? I want a better quality stream. I want better quality entertainment. Archetype, originally, the company that I try to run everything through, our slogan when we first started was a new standard of entertainment. And of course, streaming isn't a new standard. Like it's not new at all. It's I want to be able to say that everything that I do is up to my own standards. I want to be able to have guests. That's been a struggle. Trying to get OBS, which is a streaming platform or a streaming program, helps link up to your YouTube and all that other stuff. I've been struggling with that. And I've been struggling with trying to make sure that I can have a guest. That's been a real struggle. And I can do it on this platform. But then there's other things like the quality of the video that also pops up. And I don't like that. I don't like that the quality of the video is as bad as it is. Some people will probably jump on, mostly friends, and I appreciate you guys for jumping on. Even if you're new, thank you very much for stopping by. I guess this is where I'm supposed to do the whole, make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell notification and send it over to anybody who might be interested in film stuffs. Because it's just a guy talking about film. All about TV, film, and streamings. The visual mediums. Well, I guess technically video game is visual medium, but I digress. Yeah, that's the right word, I think. Any hoodles. Where was I before this? What were we talking about here? I get off on tangents. That's what happens. Oh, the quality. I don't like the quality. I want to make that better. So I've been having streaming woes. And I'm curious if you guys are tuning in, if you guys are trying to do streaming, or if you've ever done streaming, or if you just find this video later in the future and you're listening to some dude who's talking about this stuff. If you're trying streaming, what are the things that you're finding as challenges? And how are you overcoming them? For me, it's forcing myself to make sure I continue. I gotta do that. Because I don't want to give up. That's the wrong attitude. And this is supposed to be practice for other projects that I want to get into later in the future with friends. Another collaborative effort, like I was sort of talking about when we were going through all of the film equipment stuff. Yeah. It's just been an interesting journey. Well, hello everybody. I see somebody else joined in. Welcome. Gone through a lot today already. Some of the film news. Talked about some film gear and equipment. All the whether it's important or not important, you can always scrub back through. But I think it's time to move on because there is so many things that's new. We talked about a little bit with the film news and the new trailer for Buzz Lightyear. You can go watch it out over on IMDb or on YouTube or whatever. Buzz Lightyear looks amazing. I would not be surprised, and I'm kind of hoping for with Buzz Lightyear that we might see a WALL-E-like robot and connect the WALL-E universe with Buzz Lightyear. It would be so cool. I know it's just a wish. It's just a wish. Probably not going to happen. But we can have fun with it. I think there was a newer Batman trailer that came out. Who's looking forward to this Batman? Robert Pattinson as Batman. Who would have thunk it? I'm definitely going to see it. Because I want to see how they portray Batman in this one. It's very, very dark overtones. And we have the Riddler in this one as well. Which I do like the Riddler. If you go watch Nerdspiracy, you'll know that Batman is all about creating childhood soldiers. Yeah, so go watch Nerdspiracy. We dive into it. It's crazy. No, he didn't make, like, you could argue that, yes, but that's just a Nerdspiracy. Man, it's just, that's going to be interesting. Now, the Lord of the Rings, I am very much so looking forward to this series. I think this is going to be a really pretty series. This is the footage for their trailer, and it's just wood. Now, I'm not going to play the whole thing. We'll skip ahead a little bit. It's just wood, and then wood, and then flowing, some sort of flowing lava looking thing, and then water hitting it, and then smoke and reveal. All right. All of the footage of the smoke and the wood and the lava flowing through it, that's all real. My beloved shared this with me. That is all real. And when you watch the behind the scenes, it looks fantastic. So they actually had somebody carve out the wording and everything. And then they poured molten metal in it. And they shoot it all at high frame rates, and they move like they've got it on a robotic arm that can repeat the same movement over and over and over again, so they can do multiple takes if they absolutely have to. But it also follows very specific paths and keeps its focus. It's crazy. It's amazing. It's an amazing piece of tech. They use one of those with this, but it's all real. The only thing that has me with the Rings of Power, the only thing that has me right now with this, and makes me just a little hesitant, is that it's not shooting in New Zealand. It's shooting in England. I think that was because some of it was because of COVID. I could be wrong. There's probably some other things that it was about, but the whole production got moved to England. And I don't know. I hope it's going to be really good. It looks gorgeous already just based off of that. So does the House of Dragon. That looks amazing. Let's see what else we got here. Uncharted. Are there any Uncharted fans out there? Anybody who does Uncharted? Like, plays the game? Just curious. Because, the Uncharted looks interesting. But I never really played Uncharted. So I don't know how I feel about the game, or about the movie. Like, I could probably go and watch the movie and feel like, oh, yeah, that was good. That was fun. Like, it was a fun little adventure. You know, Indiana Jones-ish kind of thing, probably. That's what it looks like treasure hunting. I mean, it looks like a fun adventure. It's got a decent cast. And it's probably just going to be that. It's going to be an adventure film. But I was wondering if anybody plays Uncharted is looking forward to it or not looking forward to it. Maybe based off of the visuals that you've seen, how they portray the character. I don't know. Again, House of Dragon looks really good. If you guys don't know about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, oh my gosh. Go watch some What If over at Disney. Yes, it's a cartoon, but it's done pretty well. And there's this whole episode that's just on Doctor Strange. It brings a lot to the table with that character. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty crazy. Gonna be pretty crazy. We've got The Dropout coming up to Hulu. I never got to watch there's a documentary that this is based on. The Dropout is based on an actual, like a real woman. Okay, chronicles Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes. Elizabeth Holmes, she started a tech healthcare company. I haven't watched the documentary series because there's a document. I can't remember which place it's at. If it's on HBO or whatnot. I'm sure if I googled it real quick, I'd find it really fast. But this this show looks pretty deep. Like, it's a pretty deep drama. I mean, it's based off of real events, but like acting wise, grit wise, definitely has that sort of what's the show on HBO? Succession. Got kind of that Succession kind of look to it. That's gonna be Amanda Seyfried. I like her. Seyfried. She I like her as an actress. She's a really good actress. Kind of had a crush on her back in the day. Not gonna lie. With her in was it Mean Girls? But watching her as she's grown as an actress, like the depth of the roles that she's played, she's pretty good. So I'm very interested to see how she portrays this character. The trailer really makes her look stressed and worn out toward the end there. And that's going to be an interesting transition to watch. And that's a lot to put yourself through, like mentally and physically, at least for an actor. I mean, I'm sure in real life that's a lot to go through as well, but as an actress or an actor, there's a lot that goes on there. Especially if you're more method acting, there's just a lot. Let's see. Next one, I mean, Black Adam, that's been out for a little while. Lost City, this looks cute. Kind of a more modern, like, Romancing the Stone kind of thing, mixed in with some comedy. It looks cute. Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock in more of her classical role, like she was in sort of like a reverse Miss Congeniality. She's more prim and proper and doesn't want to get all in the mess. But that same kind of bubbliness that she used to have in that, or The Proposal, it's got that kind of Sandra Bullock. It looks cute. It looks fun. With Channing Tatum. If I remember correctly, Channing Tatum was supposed to be in a Gambit film, I think. I think it was Channing Tatum. Last week I think it was last week or the week before, I did talk a little bit about the Pinocchio. That looks interesting, by Guillermo del Toro. If you're a del Toro fan and you like stop motion, Pinocchio looks interesting. No idea what. No biz. Halo. This is another one for all my friends out there, for all you peoples out there who were fans of the Halo franchise growing up. Or if you're still fans of the Halo franchise, are you looking forward to Halo? I am not going to lie, I am very hesitant on this one. I mean, I could lie. I don't feel like lying. I am very hesitant on this one. I'll let you reflect. Halo, yes or no? I hope you had a good reflect. I had to blow my nose. I am going to watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm with I have so many nerd friends, and I played this as a kid. I remember sitting down and playing Halo on a Halo night with my buddies, the Greedos, and a whole bunch of other kids. Literally putting 2 Xboxes, the original Xbox, together via a LAN cable, an Ethernet cable, so you can play 8 on 8. I remember doing that. I'm interested. Definitely interested in Halo. But I got my fingers crossed. We'll see. We shall see. Secrets of Dumbledore. I know my beloved is excited for this one. I don't think I'm as excited, but I think it'll be fun. It's going to be interesting how they're going to play through Grimwald. Grimwald? I think it's Grimwald. Grimwald or Grimwald? It's going to be interesting how they make the main villain change his appearance again. Hey, baby. Miss Sarah, my beloved. She is definitely excited for this one. I know it. I mean, we get Fox to come in. That's going to be fun. Grindelwald. Thank you. I knew I was saying. I felt like it was wrong. The villain is changing actors again. So it's going to be interesting to see how they change it, how they move him. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But I am going to watch it, and I am going to have fun watching it. That I know I'm going to have fun, because I'm either going to be with good company, or it's going to be part of a franchise that is in of itself a classic. It's Harry Potter. It'll be interesting to see how they expand the world again, because the expansion. Let's admit, like the Beast, the Fantastic Beast series has expanded the world. It's given us more. It's showed us what the culture in the Americas is like. So it's still fascinating. And I think we've also gone to France. So we've gotten to see other magical places with this, which I think is cool. The creatures have been cool. The kids love the creatures. But yeah, it's gonna be. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see how it progresses. Anything else that I was looking at? Of course, we got John Wick Chapter 4 coming up. Who isn't excited for that one? Moonlight looks like it's gonna be good. We'll see. Oh, I do know one that is coming up, but I don't think the trailer is here. Also, my beloved will probably be interested in watching it. That's going to be over on Netflix. And it is Vikings Valhalla. There is a new Vikings series coming up in a spinoff. Thought that was interesting. Vikings. I liked the first Vikings. I haven't finished it yet. You know, that's what I need to get back into. I think I stopped at like season 4. I think that's where I stopped off, was season 4 of Vikings. It wasn't that it was getting boring. I think it just the season ended and I was waiting for the next season and I just haven't caught back up for it yet. How many people have done that? Huh? How many of you out there have been literally watching a season or watching a series because it's got like 6 seasons already? You get through 6 seasons, you know there's a 7th coming up, but then after you finish those 6 seasons, you just move on, and then later someone's like, "Oh, hey, have you watched this? And the new season's out." You're like, "What? Wait, when did that happen?" That's also why I'm here. I'm letting you guys know about some of the stuff that I find out is coming up. I thought Bridgerton. There's another one, Bridgerton. Bridgerton's got a new series or a new season coming up. I never watched the first one of this. My girl loves it. I don't know. It's very what you call it? Pride and Prejudice-ish. And I know there's a bunch of romance, and I gotta be with my girl to watch the romance, because it's me and her are both romantic, and it's sappy and gross. I gotta be with her to watch Bridgerton, but I don't know if I want to watch Bridgerton just yet. My son is looking forward to Cuphead. It's got that, if you guys don't know the Cuphead video game, there is a video game that's ridiculously entitled Cuphead. And it's about two boys who have cups for heads. And it's old school Disney animation. At least that's the style of it. It's got that real old school look to it. All the sound effects are like that. The voices are like that. It's based off, and this is all a video game, 2D scroller, I think, if I remember correctly. And they made a show about it. It's a cartoon. And apparently it's okay for kids. I used to think that the Cuphead video game was not good for kids, but then I learned it's okay for kids. It's just very, very hard. It is not an easy game to play. That, and then when I went back and watched some of the videos, I was like, was it? I was like, oh yeah, that's what he's talking about. He's not saying it's an adult game only. It's just kids will find it very difficult to play. We're gonna get a new Space Force. Still haven't watched the first season of this. I do have that reminded. That's one of those shows that I know I need to watch. One of the ones I'm looking forward to is this one. All of Us Are Dead. Korean zombies. OM goodness. Holy crap. Korean zombies. If there's anything film-wise that I would say a country has a superior version of, it's the Korean, it's the zombie. Korea has the zombie at its peak scariness. Yeah. Like, it's just, their zombies are terrifying. My personal opinion. So, if you are just not a zombie fan, that's fine. I would say give the Korean zombie film a shot. It's pretty good. This, a buddy of mine, my buddy Nick, has said that he has watched it, and at least an episode. So, and he's loving it so far. He's a little critical, so I'm interested. I think he even mentioned something about Busan, which there's a great Korean film called Train to Busan. It is amazing. There's some cheesy graphics at a couple of spots, but otherwise the story is very rich and very deep. It's simple, but with great complex simplicity. If that's a thing, it is now. And I don't care who says it. Says it isn't. Yeah, that. Train to Busan is amazing. And if this All of Us Are Dead is sort of part of that world, that would be really cool. I mean, look, everybody out there tells really great stories. Okay? There's great stories everywhere. It's not just the United States. I highly recommend, if you get a chance, go look up some other content from other countries. Dark is one that I haven't watched yet, but it is like one of my super top lists. German series. Another good German series is oh man, what is that called? It's about Roman like the Roman occupation of Germanic tribes. So it's back during the Roman times and the Caesars. Man, I cannot remember the name of that one. But that one was beautifully done. It's on Netflix too. The Roman one. I'll have to look it up later. You know what? It's bugging me. I gotta look it up now. We're doing it now. We're doing a live Googling. Roman movie or Roman show. Sorry, show in German. Barbarians. Yeah, Barbarians. Okay. So, Barbarians on Netflix. Great freaking show. Oh my gosh. Amazing. Just spot on amazing. Love that show. Yeah, definitely. So go check that one out. There's a couple of Turkish shows that are on my list to watch. One is called The Protectors. I think there's so many different shows movies are out there, and you'd be surprised that there's quite a few American shows that are just directly based off of another country's content. In fact, I believe they're making a Train to Busan English movie. It's got English actors and stuff like that. So they're making another one. There was one, I think, called The Chef back in the day that I used to watch. It was a movie called The Chef. Got remade here in America, and I can't remember what it's called now. Or maybe it wasn't The Chef with Jon Favreau. There was one about a chef, and she was all by herself, sort of took care of her niece, and that was a film that I watched in German class back in the early 2000s. Oh geez, that's a memory. And later it was remade here for American audiences, and it had what's her name? She was in Zorro. Oh my gosh, Catherine Zeta-Jones. Thank you. That's the one I'm thinking of. Had Catherine Zeta-Jones playing the chef, and I can't remember the name of the films. Mostly Martha, I think, was the name of the German one, but it was in German. I don't know. I'm really searching my memories now. All I'm saying is, go check out some other content out there. If you guys like Squid Game, you're probably going to like Maybe All of Us Are Dead. Kingdom is an amazing, medieval Korean period piece with zombies. You would think, what? Why would they do that? How would that work? It works so well. Great freaking story. Even has a spin-off movie. It's amazing. Kingdom. Just Kingdom. Oh, great show. Let's see. What else we got here? Ozarks. I've been in the middle of Ozarks. This is a rough show. Not just I don't know if you guys have ever watched Ozarks, but I've been watching Ozarks, and it is a rough freaking show. Oh my gosh, the drama that goes down in this show makes me feel sad. Just everything that happens to people. This person gets screwed over, that person gets screwed over. This person ends up trying to do the right thing, messes up in doing the right thing, has to do a wrong thing in order to do the right. It is one of the most dramatic shows I have watched. Just drama everywhere. And part of me has stopped watching it for a little bit because I feel like with how my current mental state has been previously in the last week, this show is not a good thing for me to watch right now. Ozarks has a new season. Raising Dion. I haven't watched this yet. This has been produced. Raising Dion has been produced here and shot here in Atlanta, which makes me very happy. Very proud of everybody over there who works on Raising Dion. You guys are awesome. Keep it up. And that's awesome because I actually know the film crews that work on Raising Dion. Just amazing people. Okay, keep it up, everybody. Not sure what Fistful of Vengeance is. That looks interesting. Martial arts is always fun. Into the Borderlands was okay. There's one on HBO. I think it was HBO. There's a kung fu show on HBO, and I'm trying to remember what it's called right now. The storyline was actually created by Bruce Lee. And his kids and I can't remember the production house ended up producing it. Oh, I have HBO up. Where are my HBOs? It would be a series. You know what? I bet you if I just Google it again, Kung Fu show on HBO Max. That's what I need. No, that's not it. Warrior. It's called Warrior. See? I knew I'd find it. Warrior. Yeah. Oh, man. This show. Oh, this is not a kid's show. Do not let your kids watch this show. This is not a kid's show. But if you're a manly man, if you're a manly man, you like to watch two grown men beat the heck out of each other in a really cool fight. This show is definitely for you. It's edgy. The reason why I say it's definitely not a kid's show, it's edgy, it's violent, it's brutal. Language is definitely here. Lots of sex all over the place, but it is a really, really good show. Yes, Sarah says manly men get pedicures. Yes, we do. We do get pedicures. Manly men get pedicures all the time. All right. Why do manly men get pedicures? Because they need to make sure their feet are nice and smooth when they're kicking butt. Duh. You know, see, you get ready for a fight, you know, or you get ready for some action, you know, or even after the fight, you just want to relax. And what's a good way to relax? But you know, get a pedi. Yeah, manly men can get pedicures. What? And I bet you every one of these guys got pedicures. I mean, look at this guy right here. For those of you who can't see it or just listening, he's probably about like a 6 foot tall, broad shouldered, bearded mustache from like look from like the late 1800s, 1890s, Irish man. Like he is ready to go. And I bet you after they were done with this scene, him and the main character got pedicures. I mean, it was a hard day. You know, that's what you do. You go back to your trailer and you get a pedicure. Yeah, it happens, babe. Great show though. Really, really good show. I haven't watched this in a while, but I'm hoping for another season. I want another season. Like, it's set up for another season, so we'll see. We shall see. All right, let's see what else we got here that's new. Went over Dumbledore. One of the things I do like when I go to IMDb, when I'm looking for trailers, is they got the top trending ones. So you can see all the ones that everybody else watches, pretty much. Or they, you know, pops up on your ads and things. But then they got recently added. And some of this has indie stuff. Or small projects that aren't, you know, making really big headlines or anything. Stuff that might have been on at Sundance. Or short films. Or foreign films. Like, I have no idea what this one is. What is this one? Makari. It's a show. Huh. Where's this show at? And it looks like it's Spanish or Italian or... I don't know. Huh. I just learned that, like, this is a new show. It's got its second season. They've only gotten episode 1 of the second season. But I have no idea what it's about. That's interesting. But you can find a lot of stuff that's going on over at IMDb. Again, not affiliated. I wish I was. I wish I was getting paid for this stuff. That'd be nice. Cartoons that are going to be coming out. Oh man, if you guys are fans of Bollywood, you can find so many Bollywood trailers over here just to see what's coming out. And if you have never, I highly recommend that everybody everywhere watch at least one good Bollywood epic movie. Like just one in their life. Just watch one. It is, for me personally, Bollywood movies are the epitome of cramming as much stuff people like into a film as possible. Because one of the things they love to do is try to make everything epic. If you've got and you throw all these genres in at one time. So if you've got a war film, there's a war film that's sort of like the Indian Bollywood version of 300. I cannot remember its name right now off the top of my head. I watched it over at Amazon Prime. But it's about these Indian soldiers who guard a small fortress. There's like 60 of them or something like that. Against an entire army of Taliban tribes. And the original story... the Indians are Sikhs. They're Sikh Indians. The original story, you know, it's actually based on true events. That this stuff did happen, okay? But it's a true event story that becomes an action film, and by action I mean big explosions, people flying across wires, people doing martial arts. One of the guys, like, he jumps through the air holding his rifle, pointing it at the enemy, and he's a good like 30 feet in this glorious rifle pose as he, like, legs and everything, just in this nice, just glorious pose, flying through the air, shooting a rifle, hitting every man with his mark, then landing and doing this amazing choreographed fight scene that he just kicks everybody's butt. Real manly man stuff, you know, where you get pedicures afterwards. But you go from that, from true events to epic action, then you go to a romance that includes a musical. Like, what? Where did this come from? This is not traditional, like, Western film. Okay. I put Western up on the quotes there. Period piece, epic action, romance, Bollywood, then just mix it all together, and you had this movie. It was great. It was great. The thing that triggered me is that this is probably a trailer for one of those. Like, it looks like a Bollywood trailer. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, there's some legal stuff going on. This is great. Oh yeah, this is I think this is one of the big actors, like action stars in Bollywood right now. My buddy TJ, I love him to death. He's the one who really pulled me into these epics. Oh wait, what? Oh, now we got some guy that's interested in some girl. Oh, we're getting some epic music. Look, there's the epic fights. And he's dancing. Oh, look at that slide. Oh, yeah. Like, this is some good stuff here. I bet you this is going to be a great movie. What's this? Khalidi? I want to spend my money with you, Indra. Yep. Although, I just stopped it right before the music number. Okay, like, it's Khalidi. I want to see this now. This looks great. It is. It really is. Bollywood. They've got the most epic films ever. And not epic as in like Lord of the Rings epic, but epic as in just how much amazing things they feel like they can cram into one story. Oh yeah. You like I don't see that on YouTube really. I'm sure if I kept like putting it to the search bar, YouTube would eventually give me that algorithm. But there's some downsides to having an algorithm pick stuff for you. You don't get introduced to as many new things. So you got I go and I look for it. That's just me though. There's the Dropout. There's the Vikings Valhalla. Oh, I really hope there's a new Miss Maisel coming out. I love Miss Maisel. Like, such a great character. The dialogue and the writing on Miss Maisel is phenomenal. I'm going to mention another very manly man show, alright? So don't get too offended out there, people. If you manly men, super manly man, you're ready for your action with your warriors and stuff. If you manly men, and others, have watched your Gilmore Girls, okay? Because that's what real manly men will watch. They'll watch Gilmore Girls. You gotta cry every once in a while, okay? There's some really dramatic things that happen with Rory, alright? Let's just be honest, okay? She goes through a lot. Okay, her and Joe, and Joe and his coffee shop, like, there's a lot that happens there. Yes, I know Gilmore Girls. It's my mother and my sister's fault, but I love them for it. The writer for Gilmore Girls is one of those, is the writer for Mrs. Maisel. So Gilmore Girls, even if you don't watch it and you're like, oh, I don't want to get involved in that drama, that show, at least watch like an episode or two, because the way the dialogue flows in Miss Maisel, or in Gilmore Girls, it flows the same way in Miss Maisel. It is an amazing show. The character development is really good. The comedy is really good. And it's all about a lady who's growing as a stand-up comic in the 1950s. Or 1950s, 60s. I don't know if we're going to the 70s or anything at the moment. But at least the 1950s and 60s. It's great. It's really good. It's really good. Hello, welcome, whoever is coming in. Yeah. I think that's all the new stuff that it's least. I'm not like there's a new Cheaper by the Dozen. Okay, I watched the old ones back then. I like the original 1970s version of Cheaper by the Dozen, and then of course the Steve Martin version. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that interested me from IMDb. I'm sure there's more out there. If you guys, let me know if there's anything that you've all been interested in, like, ooh, I really want to watch that. Or anything you recommend that I watch, because I will watch a lot of stuff. I love this art. There's so much out there. Murderville looks pretty interesting to me. Looks like a pretty silly comedy detective show. It looks pretty ridiculous, and it's got a ridiculous cast. Yeah, it's got a pretty ridiculous cast. So I'm expecting good comedy out of this. I mean, they're going all out for all the tropes on this one, I'm sure. Man, Sharon Stone, Ken Jeong. Oh wow, there's a lot of good people. good actors in this one. I definitely want to see it. Murderville. I gotta catch up on my sword art. Haven't watched Home Team yet. Munich looks good. I should add that to mine. This is probably... I think this is a German film. I'm pretty sure this is a German film. Munich looks really good. There was another German series that looked really good back in the day. It was actually about a group of 4. I can't remember what it was called now. It's about a group of 4 like young adults that lived in Nazi Germany. So they're Germans, and then one of them was like Jewish. I think one of the soldiers was Jewish, and both the boys go off to war, both the girls stay, but like one of the boys I think is Jewish and stuff. That was a very deep story. It's not necessarily like Nazism or anything like that, but it was about people who would have been living in the country at that time, and then what they would have had to do in order to just keep living, keep doing what they're doing, or love for the fatherland, but maybe not necessarily what everything the ideology of the Nazis was. Just really complex. That was a good show back then. Oh, we're getting a new Ilana Holmes. I think it's Ilana. Enola, sorry. We are getting a new Enola Holmes. There's an Enola Holmes 2 coming out. I am excited for that. I liked this first one. The movie was cute. It was well written, well acted. Leans a little bit more into the teenage side of things, but because it follows a girl, but it also follows, like, I think it's got a good strong character while still sticking with more feminist ideas as far as women can be individuals, women can have creativity, women can be complex. The complexity of her as she's growing up, it all comes into it really well. I even when I reviewed this a while back, last year, I even talked about how it's a really good, like, mother-daughter film. It's because it's got this aspects of her looking for her mother and the complexities between, like, the Holmeses, but from the perspective of a female looking for her mom, where we don't really know too much about the mom or anything like that from the original Sherlock Holmes stories. But it's a really good film. I thought it was really well done. I think I gave it like a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. There's some things it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I got that. Story's not too complex. It's pretty simple. You could figure out sort of where they're going with the story pretty quickly. But it's also not very, like, feministic in the aspect of it's just using a female character to just use the female character. No, like, if you were to take that same film and twist it around and say, hey, we're going to make Enola a boy, and he's looking for his, he's trying to get his brothers to help, like, the film would still work really well. Because it's just not restricted like that. It doesn't shove it in your face or anything like that. But it's really good. It's good. It's good. I highly recommend it. Man, I'm struggling to figure out what else I need to go on about over here on the Netflix. Let's see. Of course, at some point we're going to end up getting the next Stranger Things. Is this a documentary? Ooh, excuse me. Tinder swindler. is this in from the cold? Now I'm curious what this is. A thriller. Oh, this is European. Exposed as a Russian spy, an American single mom must juggle family life. Oh! I remember looking at some of this. Is this out already? Oh, this is. Wow, I'm adding that to my list. This looked good. The trailer looked good. The trailer looked real good. Cinematography looks good. It'll be interesting. You know? Looks really interesting. Kind of a spy, kind of Jason Bourne-esque. That kind of thing. You know? Murderville, we should have talked about that already. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's over on Netflix at least. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know. Over at Netflix. Well, let's look at Amazon. Because Reacher. I think it's interesting that we've got a Reacher. A Jack Reacher. The fact that Jack Reacher, it was technically, I think it's a Tom Clancy novel that became a movie with Tom Cruise. And now we're turning Jack Reacher into a show. Which is fascinating because if I remember correctly, Reacher also exists in the same timeline as Ryan. So Jack Reacher, John Reacher. I can't remember now. It is Jack Reacher. Is it Jack Reacher and Ryan? What's Ryan? The character that oh man, what's this? I'm forgetting who played what and when. We have oh come on. Go to the next page. Oh, maybe I hit this one. This one is it more like this related? No, not Braven. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I want to say it's Jack Ryan. I could swear it's Jack Ryan. The Jack Ryan series, like Hunt for Red October, and what's that other one? There's two with Harrison Ford. Clear and Present Danger. I could have swear it's Jack Ryan. You know, I gotta Google it now. Or not Google it, but I gotta search for it here. Jack Ryan. Yep. Jack Ryan. Jack Ryan became a show. Also was a movie. I think that's funny that there's two Jacks. Jack Ryan and Jack Reacher. But Reacher is supposed to be one of those. Tom Clancy type things. Like retired military police. Retired MP. Sort of tries to help people out. Especially military personnel. And their struggles. It looks good. This is the next one that I'm like cartoon wise. I have been put on to like somebody, Lyssa, from GeekGirlLyssa. She descriptions below where you can find her. She told me about this, and I I want to watch it now. Like it's on my. If it's not on my list, it better be. It looks good. It looks really good. And I love what the folks over there at Critical Role have done with taking Dungeons & Dragons and helping to make that more mainstream by actually creating like tabletop stuff, tabletop content. Like I've even gone and watched. This isn't by them either, but I've watched tabletop games of 40K. That's been interesting. I think it's called 40-minute battles or something like that. So tabletops becoming more and more mainstream, where you can start, like, the age of the nerd is progressing to where we're getting to all forms of its nerddom, and we even have more cartoon animations with a really nice animation style. I like this animation style. It reminds me a lot of, like, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Slight kind of Castlevania vibes, sort of, but a little bit more cartoony than that. Castlevania gets really dark really quick. Really, really dark really quick. So, sorry, I had a text message from the mother. My mother wants me to make sure I can pick up some prescriptions. Medicine, she says. Yes, bully. So that looks interesting. Me and the kids, we all watched the new Transylvania. That was fun. That's a fun, a fun show. Fun movie. Especially for the family. Really silly. Really ridiculous. Nothing really specific. It's Transylvania. I have to catch up on my Expanse. Anybody out there watch The Expanse? I've watched The Expanse. At least 3 seasons. I need to catch up because I think they're in season 6 now. Oh, then I went back to Reacher. That's not what I clicked for. Wait a minute. This one. That one. Yeah, they're in season 6. I am so far behind my Expanse show. One of the things I loved about The Expanse was the physics. Their interpretation of the physics. That, you know, the ships don't stop. Like, all of the fighting and everything, the ships are still moving. The maneuvers and things like that, it's more based on minute. It really is more based on the real physics. I don't want to go to I'm gonna start boring my beloved if she's on here with me going into how the physics work in this space thing, but it's really cool to watch, in my opinion. Yeah, The Expanse is pretty good. I just need to catch up. I really need to catch up on that one. Anybody out there watching Wheel of Time? That was a fun show. It was interesting. There's some stuff that's pretty doggone cheesy. Like, there's some things I thought they did really well. The creatures were decent. They were okay. Like, there's some moments where the creatures look really good. Like, dang, you put in some work on that one. And then there's some where you're like, that's a bit Sci-Fi Channel-ish for me. Like, it really just pops out a little bit more. I'm also a lot more critical on those because I can see the mistakes that they end up doing really quickly. The minutia of that really pops up for me. Era of hip-hop comedy. Fat. That sounds good. I'm gonna add that. I love comedy. Oh, they're bringing out some old comics too. That's old school Chris Tucker. That's cool. I'm gonna add that to there. All right. Well, I keep finding new things. Sister Act is back. Oh, that's classic. Sister Act. Psych, I heard, is getting a new movie. If anybody was Psych fans out there, if you like your detective shows, but you're also a super duper freaking nerd, like used to like Big Bang Theory kind of nerd, Psych is your friend. The guy's a super, like, he's super nerdy, but he's also kind of Sherlock Holmesy, but he turns his Sherlock Holmes sort of deduction talents and pretends that he's psychic. It's hilarious. Great show. Right up there with one of my other favorite, like, just nerdy kind of shows. Chuck. Chuck was... I loved Chuck. This is going into HBO. We got to go over there in a minute. Grand Budapest. Oh, it's got with ads. I am a fan of Wes Anderson. He's got some great stuff. And since we're on Wes Anderson, this is sort of what's spiking it. HBO Max is about to have the... Where are you at? French Dispatch. Premiering this month, the 25th. The French Dispatch looks amazing. Also a Wes Anderson film. I love the cinematography choices that they use. They got some great and interesting cinematography choices. Camera movement, camera framing. It's like just taking the bare basics of what, taking the actual bare basic of a frame, and then introducing another bare basic to it that makes it feel artful. Of course, the colors that Wes Anderson picks a lot of the times, also very just artsy. Not standard. The shaping of light feels more like a coloring book with the color than it does a more like dramatic film. Even though there's dramatic moments, it's the presentation of dialogue, the actors. Wes Anderson also really likes Bill Murray, and Bill Murray, great actor. I am very much so looking forward to the French Dispatch. That's going to be one to watch on the big screen. If you'll excuse me 1 minute, I have a phone call. She's just making sure I got my text. Or got her text. French Dispatch. Looking forward to it. Can't wait. Our Flag Means Death. I really, really want to watch this show. Like, this is one that has... Like, I'm super interested. Let me see who's directing it. I'm pretty sure Taika Waititi has something to do with it. Our Flag Means Death. Comedy series. Yep, Taika Waititi right there. That's right, he's Blackbeard. Taika Waititi is Blackbeard and Our Flag Means Death. It's about pirates, but they're not the best pirates. They've got some quirks to them. I am super excited for this. I really am. Who's producing it? Peaky Films. Peaky Films is producing? Who's Peaky Films? Bet you they're in New Zealand. Yep, New Zealand. Oh, this has got to be Taika Waititi's. About. Yep, Taika Waititi. Love it. Jojo Rabbit. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Go laugh. Go have fun. Go cry. Great film. Great freaking film. And now I know that he's definitely a part, and it's their filming, their company making Our Flag Means Death. This show is gonna be absolutely hilarious. It's gonna have situational humor. It's gonna have timed humor, like something just happens. It's gonna have dialogue, some witty dialogue. It's going to have moments that really make you think about stuff. And I bet you there's going to be moments where it's just going to get sad. There's this, or angry or whatever. Taika Waititi, on every film that I've seen of his, other than like the Marvel stuff and his things with Disney, where it's just his artwork. I haven't watched What We Do in the Shadows yet, so I could be wrong on this. But at least with... Okay. So now I'm really narrowing it down to two films. At least with Jojo Rabbit and Hunt for the Wonder People. Those two had such great comedy, but then contrasted with some sort of tragedy. So I know there's going to be a lot of comedy in this. But I'm sort of preparing myself for this. There's going to be some moment. It's just going to hit. It's going to hit hard. It's going to hit home. It's going to hit here. Right here. And I'm concerned about that. Yeah. Wow. So much good content out there. So much. What does one do with so much content and so little time? Like, I feel like there's too much nowadays. There's so much nowadays that that you could get caught up in. That's a little trailer of everything that's coming. Kingsman, I haven't seen that yet, but that looks good. Kimmy looks good. Not sure about Antlers. I think that's a horror. I think Antlers is a horror. Kingsman looks good. But there's so much out there. Like, I'm pretty sure that we have so much content out there nowadays, including streaming. Because streaming is content. You go to YouTube or Twitch, like what you're watching on right now. And there's channels where they just make shows. G4 is now on YouTube. People really follow like groups over on Twitch where they just do a specific show and they air every single day at a specific time, like we're doing here on Archetype. We're filming TV Talk Tuesdays, and like this is technically content. But there's so much content out there. Like, there's going to be people who just, oh, have you seen this thing? No, I haven't. What? Why not? Because there's so much out there, or you're busy with your life. And so much. It's a lot. It's a lot that we go through, isn't there? Oh. I think the last thing to talk about, it's slightly a hot topic right now, but it's been on my mind. Speaking of all the content that's out there. It's Book of Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett. Boba Fett. We've only got one more episode left, people. One more. And I am super excited. I am super excited. Like, I don't know if I can contain how excited my excitedness is. That's how excited I am. Now, if you want to know all about why Boba may be in some controversy nowadays, go on back on Archetype's channel. Go watch Nerdspiracy. I think, was it last episode? Or was it the episode before that? We go into, in depth, how Boba Fett is just being slandered. He's being slandered by Disney, who we all know is the propaganda arm of the New Republic. But if you want to know more details about that, go watch the Nerdspiracy. Excuse me. Because it's, yeah, it's pretty deep. It's pretty deep. Book of Boba Fett. I don't know how far I should go into what is going on with Book of Boba Fett, because I don't want to spoil it for anybody out there who just now goes, oh crap, I need to catch up on everything. There's a lot happening. Some of it technically doesn't deal with Boba Fett in the immediate, but it's definitely something that you love to see anyways. And I won't spoil it. All right, I won't spoil it. No, I shouldn't. I should not. I should leave it nice and pure for all those people. If you want to know about how, like, some of my feelings with these things and Boba Fett, Geeking Out has an episode, I think that we did not too long ago, where you can see what we talked about regarding Book of Boba Fett, and it's definitely got a lot of spoilers. So if you go and watch that, it's got a lot of spoilers. But we had a good long conversation about Book of Boba. Again, I don't know how far I should go. I don't think I should go into it. I shouldn't go into it. Yeah, let's not go into it. Well, I know we're a bit early at 4:45, and I usually stream till 5. But I'm not really sure what else to go into at the moment. I just don't know what, like, I can talk about film and stuff all day, but I had a set list of things to talk about, and I've gone through them all. Like, I gotta make something up now if I'm gonna fill another 15 minutes. And I have no idea what to start with. Do I go back and talk about film equipment again? Do I talk about more of the challenges of streaming? And hopefully I'll probably move off of this platform, the thing that I'm using now, Melon. I might move off of this and try something different. Even though it might give me a better quality, but it'll probably make it to where having a guest is harder. Should we talk more about shows and movies? I mean, you guys can tell me a movie, and if I've seen it, I'll give you my opinion. So I got a lot of, that's all the film stuff is anyways. It's just opinion because it's just art. It's all art, people. Okay? Everything on art is whatever you want it to be because it's how you interpret it. Even if there's literally a story that says, you know, A, B, C, and D, you can have fun and take it all as a metaphor and make it mean X, Y, and Z. So you get to have fun with it, just like with video games and music. It's all about fun and enjoyment and evoking an emotion that you want to feel, you know? I think I need to get more used to looking at you guys, like in the camera, instead of looking around, because I look at my screens. I don't know where to put my eyes. It's like Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands. Memoirs of a Geisha or Last Samurai. Okay. Memoirs of a Geisha is a very beautiful film. It's just really pretty. The story is not too complicated. It's pretty easy to follow along with, but it's got amazing acting. The actresses and actors and everybody they picked for that cast of Memoirs of a Geisha was spot on for what they needed to convey, especially. It's a pretty film. It's got great color. I think that's back shot on film days. I think that's what they actually used film for that movie. I don't think that's I think that's pre-digital. So it's got really good color. It's got gorgeous visuals, like just the atmosphere and everything, the period, the production design is really, really well done. It really makes you like, as far as when you're watching it and everything, it makes the feeling that you get is that you're just in this Japanese world, centered around geisha and what geishas go through. It is also a book, so I would be curious to, I think in the long run of things, if I really wanted to research into it, I think I would be curious to see how accurate historically Memoirs of a Geisha is, at least in storytelling. Like, is that what the girls really went through? Were there different houses? How often did girls run away? All that stuff. Yes. Confirm unavailable. Those unavailable people, I can't believe they call. They call all the time like they're available, but they're never available. Makes no sense. That break brought to you by a phone call. A real phone call off of a phone line. Last Samurai, as beautiful as a film as Last Samurai is, and I like Last Samurai, because I also like Japanese history and culture, researched the historical figure that is related to The Last Samurai. I think in the film it's Matsumoto. I think. The interesting thing about that story, where all films technically have an artistic interpretation. Even if you try to make a film as accurate as possible, there's always going to be things that physically can't like happen in film and also be safe. That's a good way to put it. So there's leeways, or there's things that don't look really well on, like they don't pick up really well on camera, or there's certain aspects of what historically would have been accurate that would seem very dull and boring, especially the show within 8 episodes, 10 episodes, or a film. The story that Last Samurai is technically connected to is very, very, very different. It's yes, there was a rebellion, but the samurai that got together to challenge the emperor, they didn't really have armor. They had swords, but they didn't really have armor. They were pretty much just butchered when they went up against the emperor's forces. It is really sad. So there's that sadness that happens in the Last Samurai. I guess there's that part of me that just goes, would we have watched it here in the West if Tom Cruise wasn't the hero? I think that's the only thing that I have a hiccup on, is that a film like that, a story like that, technically I kind of wish it could have been told. And maybe it has been. It probably has been told in Japanese films. So I might want to go and look that up. But would we have watched it if Tom Cruise wasn't the hero? I don't know. That's a very sensitive subject for some people. For me, I feel like I would have watched it. But what I've even known of is its existence here, because you're taking a very specific Japanese time and place in history, and you're introducing a Western character, mostly so it relates to a Western audience. Because, I mean, you would hope that people would be able to relate to a character who wants to rebel and fight for his emperor. You would hope that they would that they could connect with that honor aspect of it with Matsumoto. I'm pretty sure it's Matsumoto. Let me make sure I got that right. Last Samurai cast. Katsumoto. Sorry, Katsumoto. You would hope that you would be able to identify with Katsumoto and what he's going through. But if you were to have that would be a very just Asian market film. It would take a while for it to get here. And if it did come here, nowadays it might be a lot more easier to see. But back when it released, I definitely don't think it would have. Because that film came out in 2003. Yeah, no. 2003, you still needed the Western hero, the Western white hero, in order to appeal to a Western market. This film, it probably would have come out now if it was in some streaming platform. And it still would have been a good film. I like the film. There's a lot of really good moments. I'm not saying Tom Cruise's character is bad. His character is good. The complexity of emotion that he conveys in his character, I think he plays his character very well. I like the Japanese culture aspect anyway, so there's a lot of cool things to me that's there. But yeah. Last Samurai, good movie. Memoirs of a Geisha, good movie. Both are good. I'm trying to think if there's if you really want to dive into some Japanese cinema, the quintessential Japanese cinema is you could do all the animations of Miyazaki, Hayao Miyazaki, who did all the Studio Ghibli stuff. great, great things. And then you have his name is on the tip of my tongue. The Seven Samurai is one of his films, and it's not coming to my head. Kurosawa. Akira Kurosawa. That's who I'm thinking of. His... oh my gosh. Like, his films have influenced so much. Seven Samurai is one of them. Okay? Seven Samurai is... it is about a village that is being pretty much like terrorized by bandits. And these seven samurai decide that they're going to help protect the village and help the village learn to protect itself. That, which I'm pretty sure is based off of like some other lore and legends. But Kurosawa made the film Seven Samurai, which later we even see with The Magnificent Seven. There's 2 different films of that. The Mandalorian had the episode where Mando and Cara Dune end up... is it Cara Dune? I think it's Cara Dune. Mando and Cara Dune end up helping out a small town or a small little farm village from bandits. That's a Seven Samurai reference. Kurosawa has like he's been a huge influence in the film industry, and it's amazing, and I love it. Just went and looked at my image on YouTube. I look horrible. I look horrendously bad. Look like hot pixelated mess. Yeah, Kurosawa, Seven Samurai, Ran, Ikiru, Rashomon. I don't think I've seen that one. He is like Kurosawa is also somebody that filmmakers study. If you go to any like film college, you're going to study something of Kurosawa. So he's got great stories. Like he also ties in like elements with framing and characters. So there's always something: wind, rain, fog. There's the fire. There's always some sort of element in his framing and in his work. It's really, really pretty stuff, and it's really good. I highly recommend it. But we're getting close to that time. This is the moment where I've got to stop and I got to say thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in today. I've been a little like, it's the change in weather probably and the allergies. My nose has been pretty stuffed up lately. But I want to thank you all for stopping by. If you can please, if you haven't already, I hope you have, but if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you'd like to be notified of more, and if you want to be a Notre Dame hunchback. You can also check us all out on all the links below. Some of the people that come on as guests are also in the links below. They got some great content. Yeah, and I want to thank everybody for stopping by today. It has been fun just talking about movies and TV and streaming stuff once again. And I really do appreciate you guys. You guys are all awesome. All right. So you guys and gals and peoples out there, take it easy. And we will see you on the next one, which would be next Thursday, Sunday. And if you don't see us there, then you come back and watch this show or watch Gundam Mondays. Either one. All 3 are great, and we always have a lot of fun. Until the next time, I'm Gabe, the producer over here at Archetype, and you've been watching Film and TV Talk Tuesdays. Aloha.